Blackstone Labs headquarters.
Are these things right?
I think so.
Okay.
Because now that I click the button, I can hear it.
I can hear myself. It's you. You sound different.
Do I?
I mean, it's working on the thing.
What do you think, YouTube? I don't know. We'll just roll with it.
It's working on the thing, so we'll just go with it.
All right. You want to banter all in the beginning, or just get right into this extremely long question one?
It's going to be a long one. It's already 3:15. I'm with the Texas doctor that I need to speak to and let him know I'm running late. But as far as bantering goes, we went to the Arnold. It was spectacular.
Came, saw, conquered.
Yeah, we did. Vini Vidi Vici, as they say.
Yes.
As the paisans say. We served out 15 gallons of ice cream.
Not to just like 15 people, like we broke them up into small.
To be honest with you, I don't know if it was really 15 gallons. He said he sent us 15 gallons. I feel like maybe 5 gallons.
No, I feel like it was at least 15 gallons.
Was it?
It was a whole freezer.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know, 15, like I'm thinking of a gallon of water, and I'm thinking of 15 of those.
Instead, think of a gallon of ice cream, like from Publix, like the Breyers.
Yeah.
And then think 15 of those. We had at least 15 of those.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It was
not
a hit.
more.
The ice cream was a hit.
I mean, honestly, I went to the freezer and looked for some today, and there was none in there.
I know. It sucks that we don't have any, right?
Very disappointed.
Do you know what really sucks about it, too? A lot of people don't know this, is people are like, yo, send me the ice cream. And I'm like, I don't even have it.
I don't have any.
And we're not actually going to have it either.
It's not going to be stored here.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
Maybe we should just get like a walk-in freezer that's just stocked once every like 6 months.
We could do that. We have to keep it locked out. There's a lot of scavengers.
We'll call it the ISO Creamery.
Vultures, as I call them, that reside in the call center.
Yeah, in case you guys thought that there's just like an abundance of supplements here, there is in the warehouse. But then when you go into the kitchen, where like we mix up like our protein and like pre-workout drinks and stuff like that, it's pretty scarce. Mostly because certain individuals here will see the flavor they like open in the kitchen and just take it home.
Yeah, without even asking. Also, like things that you think that you'd be able to just get readily available to yourself in the warehouse. There's a warden that resides in the warehouse that goes by the name of Brittany, and getting anything from her is like pulling teeth.
Warden Britt.
So that's enough banter.
And
usually we will banter more, but there's a lot of questions today, and I want to get into them. So
we got some bantering ahead of us either way.
This first one is I've read this one and put this one to the front. This was actually sent to my personal email. And I honestly read it, and I was like, fuck, I can't answer this goddamn question. It's just, it's very long. It's a multi-part question. Just typing it, I felt like my fingers would hurt from typing it. It's just a lot. So I already let Josh know. I'm like, there's no way that you can read this to me and then I can just answer it. So we're gonna have to break it down piece by piece. And by the way, the person who sent me this, their email is everlasting jerkface. And I will say, this is a jerk face of a question.
And it is everlasting.
Yeah.
By all means.
So I put it in the front. Just gonna get it. It's all downhill after I answer this one. But this is a multi-part, difficult question.
So if you just want to skip the longest question we've ever had on Ask BJ Braun, just go ahead and skip to like minute 17 and like 30 seconds or so.
All right.
All right, here it goes. Morning, PJ. First off, I appreciate you giving a crap about me and my health. I know you're infinitely busy. I hear you on the cardio Q&A and podcast, recounting everything you're up to, and the fact that you can take real time for anybody is pretty amazing. I'm going to list my questions first, then if you want to read my relatively brief blast and cruise experiences below for background, you can. If you don't need to, no problem. Just started my cruise at 125 milligrams test C every 3 days. E2 is at 18. I'm at 0.25 milligrams of Arimidex every 4 days, trying to bring it up to get bloods every 15 days. Can I just stop Arimidex for 2 weeks or 4 weeks while monitoring until the number gets back up? Everyone says no, but I'm not sure if that's just out of their own fear of gyno.
Yes.
I will be monitoring my bloods like a nun monitors a Catholic school dance, and will hop back on Adex as soon as I approach the sweet spot, which is 35-ish. Maybe 0.25 milligrams every 3 days and see what that does in 2 weeks. Thoughts?
All right, so here's the deal. Yeah, yes, just stop taking the Arimidex. You're not going to die in 2 weeks, and you're not going to get to gyno in 2 weeks. That only happens to be honest with you, this has only happened to the retards that work for me. And sorry if the word retard offends people. but I do have some in this building. I have guys in my building that can literally milk their own nipples.
Yeah, we have a wide range. We have guys that can milk their nipples, and then we have other guys that are running like a gram a test that don't take any AIs. So it's a pretty wide range.
And that's why I think this question needs to be answered the way it is. So when I got my gyno removed, right, back in 2007, I was like, fuck Arimidex. I'm like, I can't get gyno. So I didn't run Arimidex my entire off season. And what happens is you get more watery. You'll put on a little bit more fat, but that's it. So this is when you're running like somebody like me that's running 1,000 milligrams of test a week. So if you're only running 125 milligrams of testosterone, I believe you said every third day, right? Which is nothing. Let's just call that 250 mgs a week, right? That's your standard HRT dose, which many guys could probably do without Arimidex and be okay. Now, myself, I am an estrogen factory. And I have to take a milligram of Arimidex every single day. And by doing that, my estrogen sits around 35, which is considered perfect, actually. So you are, I believe, at 18, or it's either 18 or 12.
It says E2 is at 18.
All right, so you're at 18, right? So you're very low. You need to double that. The easiest way to get that number up is just don't take Arimidex anymore, you know? So, yes, just stop it. If you're looking to get it up for the sake of the actual blood work, just stop taking it. It's going to go up, and then, you know, you're going to feel yourself get more watery, get a little bloated. Maybe you'll feel a little bit of sensitivity in your nipple, and then you just know to yourself, okay, I'm going to get back on the Arimidex, and it'll go away. Like, gyno isn't like something that you go to sleep, and then you wake up the next day, and you're like, holy shit, this happened last night? It's
oh
like,
my god, I'm 6 weeks pregnant.
Yeah, it just doesn't work like that. Like, you'll feel it coming, you'll get sensitivity in your nipples, eventually you can feel like a little ball back there, and you know, maybe that little ball grows into like a nodule, and this is like things that happen like over time. And I always tell people, I'm like, look, you want to try to use as little Arimidex as possible, because it's going to, when you lower your estrogen like that, you're also going to be lowering your good cholesterol. There's a number of things that happen. So my advice is, whenever you have to take the blood work, just stop taking the Arimidex until then.
All right, next next up says, my current blast and cruise protocol and links for each. I'm not a competitor, but I do understand and appreciate aesthetics. I want to stay relevant in the world Yvette travels, and if I want to see results for my day in, day out work, I'll take any recommendations you've got if you're willing. Mostly, I don't want to shell out for a blast and see absolutely nothing for it. I want to know how this works and get it right. Anything else I should be paying attention to on my bloods? There's a link to my current and past results below if it helps. Oh, one more. They say PCT is not for blast and cruise. What is the remedy for small ball syndrome on a blast and cruise? Erection starting to look like a refrigerator dolly. Speaking of which, thanks for the entice him. Even with the low E, my libido is back where it ought to be. Hoping that getting on E2 on track will get the function back to 120% where it generally sits. I've been a little off for sure.
So hold on a minute. Clarify this for me.
Hold on.
His penis is like a refrigerator dolly. What does that mean?
Erection starting to look like a refrigerator dolly. Like metal? I don't know.
Eric?
No.
Yeah. Like does it have a curve at the bottom?
Rounded at the top? Like,
It's got wheels?
or he's just saying that it's big and hard enough for him to pick a refrigerator
Yeah,
up
like,
on.
is it like an icicle?
I don't know.
Poor Yvette. I don't, so this is what I think, and we're gonna keep going through his questions. Cause I read this already. Honestly, this is my opinion on it. I'll solve all your problems with it. You should stay on 200 milligrams of testosterone a week, probably for the rest of your life.
Forever.
And when you feel like you want to push it a little more, just do 200 milligrams twice a week. You're doubling what you're taking. And if your doctor is prescribing it to you, see what else you can get. Throw in some Anavar. Throw these little things in. And then when you remove them, you simply go back to the 200 milligrams a week. You don't have to ever worry about PCT. If you're concerned with your balls because you want to have kids, most likely you're going to have to come off and just run HCG and Clomid and stimulate everything in order to have children. Now, if you're not concerned with that, then your balls don't matter. Let them be small. It really doesn't matter. Now, if you are wanting to have kids, and then this is the way that I answer this is going to go in completely different directions. So I don't think he specified that in there. I don't think that you guys do have kids. Maybe you don't want to have kids. If you don't want to have kids, then let your balls be small.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, small balls are where it's at.
No. I mean, I honestly cannot remember the last time I had big balls. My balls aren't small, like extra small. Feeling them right now. I mean, they're not
like,
all that big.
Like half a Tic Tac size?
No, they're like grapes.
Grapes?
Yeah, they're like grapes.
Man, that reminds me, I want those cotton candy grapes. You just killed me with that. Yeah, who needs big balls? Like, I mean, honestly, they just get in your way. They fucking, you know, it's just more weight to swing around when you're doing the work.
Like Larry Longballs from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
All right, so the the ending of it says, "Thanks for your time. I really do appreciate you. I couldn't be happier that Yvette found a family that is so interactive, appreciates her personality along with her talents, and is as loyal as she is. Can't wait to watch you guys grow together. Signed, your friendly neighborhood jerkface."
Well, I appreciate how polite JerkFace has been with this question, because it is a question that he gave a lot of detail to, that I feel like none of this should have happened. You know, I don't think that his issues should have gone down the way they did. I think that he was probably given, honestly, I feel like his advice that he was given, it was somebody who was trying to be smarter than they are, and like, all right, you're going to do this every third day, and on each fortnight, you're going to jerk off with your finger in your butt, and then you're going to take these herbs. It's
Make sure you wake up in the morning and drink half a scoop of peanut butter or whatever.
Yeah, it's like, you don't have to do all, guys, I'll tell you right now, there's doctors that I talk to that prescribe their people a shot of testosterone every 2 weeks. Because there is a very, very long half-life. You get about 9 days, right? So, to do it every third day in small doses, are you going to keep it as even in your blood as possible? Yeah, you are. And I can tell you, like, I'm in a phase right now where I'm doing things every other day. But that's kind of more so because I'm taking some fast-acting things. I've just run, like, I'm going to do a shot on Fridays.
Yeah.
For months at a time, I've been fine.
And I mean, and like you said, worst case scenario, you want to go up, you do a shot Monday and Friday.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not that hard.
That's it. That's all you have to do.
Doing that every 3 days, I feel like that's so confusing. You're like, okay, I started on Monday, now I'm going to go get it on Thursday.
that is absolutely confusing. So when I do fast-acting stuff, like when I was competing, if I was going to run like trinacetate or Mastron, right? Honestly, most of the time, I would cut the dose down and just do it every day, because you can't fuck that up. I just knew I'm going to do this every day. I mean, it sucks to stab yourself every day.
For sure.
But it was like the last 4 weeks, if somebody was like, okay, the ideal way to do this is 100 milligrams every other day.
Just do 50.
I'm like, you know, I'm just going to do 50 every day.
Yeah.
I just know I got to do this much every day. You can't screw that up.
It makes it easier, too, because then you're not like, oh, today's Thursday. Did I do it Wednesday or Tuesday?
Yep.
Oh, I don't know.
I've gone through that, too, where people are like, do it every third day, or, you know, do it every fifth day, things like that. It honestly, guys, like,
Stop overcomplicating.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't see that it really being all that much more beneficial for you to do it that way.
I mean, honestly, like, any time where I've done, like, really close dosages like that, like, every day, then I feel like maybe, like, 5% better, maybe. But is it worth it? No. No. All right, next question comes from Sean. He says, "What's up, PJ? Hope the Arnold went well. Being backstage and seeing the athletes in person, and even being right next to Rolly, did you agree that the top six? Did you agree with the top six in the open division? Thanks again for helping people and spreading motivation, Sean Forrest."
I did agree. I think that maybe Rolly could have went up a spot. I think that if you guys are sitting from where the judges are sitting, you see things that you can't see in photographs or even in videos. And I've said this to people forever. Don't go by the pictures in the magazines. Like, it's much different when you're sitting where the judges are actually sitting.
Even sitting from the judges' seat to, like, somewhere else in the crowd,
yeah,
it's a completely different angle.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Now, Rolly is somebody that, like, the camera is going to favor him because he's got deep insertions to his muscles and he's very, very round. However, I actually, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but so Akeem had a video of him in the locker room, I guess, before the show, like, posing and shit. And is he jacked and is he round and freaky? Yes. But I looked at it, the first thing I said was that he's not dry enough from the back.
Right.
Where if you look at, like, Dexter Jackson up close, like, he's so freaking dry, you know? So I thought it was fair. I think I do think Bonac deserved to win. I think Dexter's amazing. Honestly, this will make people upset. I don't think bodybuilding is as good as it used to be. I don't. The guys, and I want to also say these guys are really good. But the guys that are competing now, like, they're not doing anything where I'm like, oh my God, how could he look like that? And I guess that's kind of sad. I just I don't see like big upsets when it was like, oh my God, Jay beat Ronnie, or you know what I mean? Like it's just not like that now.
Or even like a couple years ago when Kai and Phil got into that little tough on stage.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
there's
not
just,
like that.
yeah, there's nothing like that. Like Phil is going to win the Olympia, guys, and he's probably going to do it pretty easily.
Yeah. It's just not. It's not what it used to be.
No. I think Bonac is good. He's just not that tall. Rulli, and you guys see the picture of me handing him the trophy. I mean, I'm bent over and I'm still like 4 or 5 inches taller than him. Like,
right.
They're little squatty, little brick shit house guys, but I don't know. I think I was around during the fucking best time in bodybuilding,
So it's something that I think will take it'll take another renaissance for it to come back around to that level, and maybe we're gonna have to go through the classic physique, and maybe we're gonna have to go through like this. I don't know, but when we were at the Arnold, people were telling me that powerlifting is what's really popular now.
Okay, well,
to be a bodybuilder anymore.
I'll give you a couple more stats on me being backstage. So what I was most impressed with, and I actually took pictures and I was like sending it to people, was the Mountain from Game of Thrones.
Deadlifting.
Yeah, I mean he is. I guess he's the strongest man in the world. He won, the Arnold, whatever it's called.
Strong guy.
Yeah, the Arnold strong guy. He is absolutely enormous, and his girl is so small too. I was just like, oh my God, how does she take him?
Impalements.
Yeah, it's so frightening how big he is versus how small she is. So he is absolutely enormous, and I was much more into watching him just be a strong guy. And like I stood next to him and my head went up to like his nipple. He is a true mountain of a man. Now I will also say, this is the dark. God damn it. I will also say that I know this is gonna make people mad, and I don't want it to be like that. But the classic bodybuilding didn't do shit for me either.
No.
And I do not want to hate on this guy because he's good. He is. Arash.
Okay.
Does nothing for me.
Yeah.
The guy that beat him, I do felt deserved to beat him.
I think honestly he like his last show he wasn't as lean as he was at this show, but I actually think he looked better at his last show. He looked a little more full.
He just was very flat and
so flat and stringy now.
And nothing was like popping.
He went down past where I think was his sweet spot, and he got so lean and so dry. You could see it in his legs. You could see it a lot.
His physique didn't wow me at all. The guy that beat him earlier in the day, we were all looking at pictures. I was like, he deserves to win. He won't win, and they actually did judge it the way that it should have been judged. Men's physique.
Nobody cares about anybody wearing board shorts.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the guy who won, he did deserve to win.
Oh, great upper body, bro.
Yeah, solid upper body. Hope there's something going on in those shorts. I'll tell you this. Here's what you can take away from the Braun perspective of the Arnold. Janet Lejeune is so ridiculously beautiful, and I was able to hand her a trophy, that just the fact that there are creatures that look like that walking around this earth
gives you hope.
Yeah, there's a marvel in itself.
Just
somebody was like, I saw you going for the kiss, which I do not remember. Maybe I did.
Did you?
I'll have to go back and watch the video.
And watch it myself.
But I mean,
sometimes just it's like knee-jerk reactions. Things just happen.
Yeah, like hey, maybe you need a sponsorship. I don't know.
I've never taken dust. How about Dust Extreme? All right, we're getting moving into the next one. This one is a Carnitine question. It says, "Hey PJ, I've seen conflicting information online and would appreciate some confirmation and clarity regarding L-carnitine and acetyl L-carnitine. To my understanding, L-car is primarily for focus and cognitive functions, while L-carnitine aids the transport of fatty acids into the mitochondria. So L-carnitine is better for fat loss and aid that helps cells utilize fat for energy. I can figure out that both would be good to take pre-workout for both mental focus and increased ATP. But when you take these at other times of the day, but would you take these at other times of the day and what doses? I've also heard that there is a correlation between taking any type of carnitine and free testosterone. Can you explain that relationship? Thanks. Your podcast and cardio Q&As are my favorite thing to listen to while doing cardio. Love the products and what Blackstone Lab stands for. Hashtag loyalty is everything, AJ."
Well, I mean, AJ, you've obviously done some research and some reading. You're right. You've kind of figured out the answer to this on your own. Do you need to take both? No. Do they have their place in a supplement regime? Yeah. I don't really see like acetyl L-carnitine being something that like everybody can take and get good results out of. Now, L-carnitine, especially in tartrate form, does a lot as far as energy production, fat burning, things like that. That is something that you can take all the time. You can take it year round. And it's inexpensive. We are going to probably put out Blackstone Labs. That's one of the products that I want to put out. So yeah, that one does have its place for sure. You definitely wouldn't go, you wouldn't take one and then like cycle it with the other. Like it's just not something that you need to be spending your money on.
Just blast them both pre-workout.
Yeah, just take L-carnitine. Dude, there's L-carnitine in every Monster that you drink, you know. It's a very basic supplement. Acetyl L-carnitine is a little on the pricey side. It's just not something that's going to make or break you in any way.
All right, next one's coming up from Haradab, I believe. It says, "Hi, Lord PJ Braun. This is your favorite person in the world. In the episode where Chris Aarons was substituted, you both implied that lack of posts was lack of interest from athletes. The Beatles put out more music in 10 years than Michael Jackson did in 40. He went on to become more known around the world than the presidents of the USA. Isn't it better to have, say, an athlete post herself snorting pre-workout while showing off her cleavage once a month, which will cause high engagement, people thinking about it all week, share with their friends, etc., rather than someone making daily unremarkable selfie posts with all the right hashtags that people except broke white knights will swipe through? I'm not talking about athletes who don't even put you in the bio, etc. And I'm not saying that the Beatles way is wrong, but I'm more of a Michael Jackson kind of girl man, which is why I try to make every YouTube upload unique, even if it takes forever. Not because of lack of interest. Thank you both. I hope you have a great day."
Haradab, I mean, I can't disagree with you.
We're actually going to go make a video of somebody showing cleavage snorting pre-workout right
now. Yeah, I can't disagree with you. Now, here's the thing. A lot of it is based around your role. What is your role? My role with Blackstone Labs is I have to post all the time. If I don't, people start thinking something's wrong with Blackstone Labs. Now, if I was just a sponsored athlete, I don't know what people would think. I don't know. It's very hard to answer that. Do I ever think that we're going to hire somebody that even with me being on top of them is going to post the way that I post? No. And I just post a lot. It's something that I'm aware of all the time. If I came out selectively from time to time and was like, hey, I'm going to do a radio show, you know, like once every 2 months, and then I went into hiding after that, I assume, like the point you made, yeah, like people would probably be like, oh, PJ's out, let's see what he has to say, versus how I am now where I post all day, every day. But I feel like people expect me to be posting all the time.
Expect us. We are Legion.
Yeah, I feel like you answered your question yourself, Herdav.
All right, next one comes.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think there's a right or wrong. I think that you should post all the time. I really do. I don't think that it's wrong to not post. But if a company signs you and they say, hey, we want you to post 4 times a week, you should post 4 times a week. Now, there are certain people that I've signed to contracts where it's like, hey, I want you to post 2 times a week. And then there's other people I've said, hey, I want you to post 6 times a week. And it's kind of based on what I think they're going to do and what I think kind of production is going to come from that. Real Tarzan, for instance. I don't think him posting 5 times a week is going to make us sell any more shit. I don't. I think that most people are like, oh, this guy works out. That's cool. It's much more cool that he rescues giant snakes and things like that.
Right.
So if once a month there's a video of me with him wrestling a goddamn alligator or something, that's going to be a lot more powerful than him in the gym posting 5 times a week about dust.
Right.
So you got to look at what your subject matter is, etc. Next question.
All right, next question comes from Donovan. It says, PJ, shout out to the Legion Woo. Was wondering how you went about making a posing routine and if you had any tips on how to nail the poses. I just started to really practice doing poses and want to get way better at them. Thanks.
All right, so there are videos, there are instructional videos. There's a great one that Gary Udit, who is, he runs North Americans, and he's been a judge for 1,000,000 years. He will, you know, break down what is supposed to be done in his videos. I haven't watched them in years, but I know they're out there. Now, there are other posing coaches that are great. You got to practice on your own. As far as the routine, that's an individual personal thing. You know, so everybody's routine is going to be different. You know, sometimes people dance, some people don't dance, some people like to pose to heavy metal, some people like to pose to classical. That part of it is just a reflection of who you are, your personality, whatever. As far as like hitting all the mandatory poses, this is something that you just need to practice every day. And I think you should videotape yourself so you can watch yourself in the video, seeing what you're doing right versus what you're doing wrong. And, you know, if you let's say, if you watch the video and you're getting leaner and leaner, you'll see where you need to make changes. You know, you'll see, oh, you know what, my leg doesn't look good like this, or my arms should be back more. I mean, there's going to be slight variations for everybody. Practice makes perfect. How about that?
So the next question is about their final 2 weeks of prep.
Sure.
They said, hey PJ, first off, thanks for taking the time to answer so many questions from your fans and Legion members both here and during the cardio Q&A. I appreciate the honesty and openness. My questions concern the last couple weeks leading up to a show or photo shoot, in this case the Beat PJ final photos. You mentioned in a previous podcast that the diet the week before the final prep week is the most grueling for you, up to the Wednesday before the show. What does that final 10 days before carving up look like as far as macros go? And concerning training, how much cardio and lifting do you do the final week? Thanks in advance, Kenneth, aka Blown Candy 10, Blackstone Leader.
Oh, okay. Blown Candy 10. All right, so when you're in that like 14 days out phase, right? From 14 to like, let's say, I don't know, 4 days out. That is when I go lowest calorie, most cardio, and honestly, like everything I got left in the gym workouts. Some people call it depletion training. I don't call it that because you're depleted already. But that's like your last like real set of workouts. The last like 4 days before a show, you're not even really working out anymore. You're moving blood around here and there, and you're posing. So depending on what kind of diet you're on, or what I'd be on, when you're in that 14 days out phase, you typically will go very low calorie, you know, like a protein and veggie type thing. But again, this is individual specific based on how you look. You know, some of you might have to go harder than others. Some of you might need to keep the carbohydrates consistent because you're flattening out. I mean, there's a lot that goes into this. So it's hard to give a specific on what you would do versus what I would do. I can tell you for the Beat PJ, I'm not going to be able to be contest lean by April 15th. It's just not realistic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to suffer myself as much as possible to look as good as I can look for my final check-in. And then I'm going to actually keep on going with my diet. I'm just going to kind of slow things down a little bit and not torture myself. So this all depends on how you look. You know, how much more you have to pull out. You might be in honestly, like, you might be 99, 98% of perfect 2 weeks out, and then you just kind of cruise in. Or you might be really behind, and you've got to pull out all kinds of stops and crazy stuff to get yourself ready. It's a matter of how you look. Each show that I've gone into, I've had like a specific protocol of what I thought that I was going to do, but it never wound up being 100% spot on. There was adjustments that had to be made.
All right, and the next question is coming back from Jacob Moore, which is our electric bicyclist.
Okay.
He says, hey PJ, I really appreciate the time you took to answer my email and questions for this bike trip. It is a pedal-assisted bike, so I will be pedaling the whole time, and if I need extra assistance, I can activate the battery. My buddy invented the bike, Beach Flyer, and advertises it as a 20-mile one-way bike to the beach and back. He's trying to get the city of Los Angeles more active and eco-friendly. Once I reach Los Angeles, I plan to switch the bike to a regular speed bike and pedal 4,000 miles across the country to Washington, D.C.
Wow.
I'm kicking myself for not making it out to the Arnold this past weekend. Things got crazy busy around here, and I'm leaving Wednesday to prepare for the trip. No excuses, and I missed a great opportunity to meet you and the hashtag Legion. The world records I plan to break are the longest electric bike ride in 12 and 24 hours. I plan to ride 260 miles from San Simeon to Los Angeles, California, March 30th in 24 hours. I will stay in LA for a few days and going to the Price is Right show on April 2nd. Say what's up to Bob Harker for us, who stole his wheel. I will put a 5-gallon drum on the back of the bike and advertise Blackstone Labs. Haha, but for real. I will be repping the gear on the ride and taking the supplements. It would be great if you could be in LA 1st of April watching me complete the feat. If you have any questions, please feel free to call me at, and he left his phone number, or shoot me an email. I'm not joking about the Price is Right either. You can see the ticket attached. The +1 is your seat. Best Jacob Moore.
Is there really a +1?
Yeah.
That's amazing. So what you need to do is bring Formula 19.
People in party too.
That's so amazing. What a great little.
You're awesome.
Yeah. You are awesome. I'm bummed that you didn't come to the Arnold also. My advice is to bring yourself some Juiced Up, some Resurgence, and some Formula 19 and just mix it in your water and just keep on drinking it. That'll cover everything you need.
I think this is one of those questions you were warning me about before I got to it.
Do you want to save this one for later?
I think this one should have been first. This one's even longer.
Oh.
Holy shit.
Let's go through some faster ones before we.
All right.
I gotta warm myself up for that.
Yeah. All right. Hey, PJ, my lord, at Eli Williams, aka Legion the King Kong. The expo was great. Had fun. Can't wait for next year's show. Next year showed me that if I really want to do power building, gotta work super hard. Anyways, my question was, as I've stated before, I'm a type 1 diabetic that doesn't want to fight with low T problems. I did blood work and I have testosterone levels of 490 ng/dl.
Not bad.
Testosterone free of 94 pg/ml. Testosterone percent free of 1.9%. What path should I take? Because I have a diet set, workout schedule set. Just want to make sure I can dominate bodybuilding and powerlifting. But I feel my T levels are really low and spending 4 to 6 hours in the gym and an hour of that being cardio, and I don't feel progress is happening. Just want to be the best I can be. Your loyal Legion Eli the King Kong Williams.
Is he saying that he's spending 4 to 6 hours a day or a week?
4 to 6 hours in the gym and an hour of that being cardio. So 4 to 6 hours total, 1 hour being cardio every day.
Oh, that's insane.
That sounds brutal, sir.
Yeah, there's no way you're going to get results training for that long.
You'll kill yourself.
My advice to you is train for an hour a day, max. That's crazy.
Yeah, if you cut it back, you'll probably see some size.
Yeah, your testosterone will probably go up too. Your testosterone's not that bad. I've seen way worse. It's not that bad. Get yourself on some Apex Male. You can take it year round. You'll feel great. And stop working out for 6 hours every day. That's nuts. Cortisol's probably through the roof. That's what's probably throwing you off.
Right, yeah. Next one says, hi PJ, I'm almost done with the stack of Chosen One, Quad Extreme, Growth. Is there anything else I should take to follow up with? I'm planning on submitting my Beat PJ results on 4/15. Thank you.
I can't answer that without knowing what else you're doing, but if you're going into a PCT, I need to see how you look. So I would say if you're going PCT, go PCT, Apex Male, and jump on some recomp so you can look as good as you can possibly hope to look for April 15th. You want to look as good. You don't want to just stop now. You got over a month to go.
All right, next one comes from Fluff Daddy. He says, let's get juicy, brah.
Fluff Daddy.
Hey, PJ. Thank you for being so open and honest with this podcast. Not many people are willing to give out the valuable information you provide for free. I just started TRT and was prescribed 200 milligrams test sip every week, pinning on Saturdays. 250 IU of HCG Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Stupid.
And 0.5 milligrams of anastrozole Monday and Wednesday. The scheduling was given to me by the doctor. After 8 weeks or so, I plan on running Chosen One, 8 weeks on, 8 weeks off with my TRT to maximize the effects of both compounds.
Okay.
What is your take on this TRT protocol, and would you potentially swap the anastrozole for Eradicate instead? If so, how would you run it? It's my understanding that anastrozole suppresses estrogen and tends to wreck your cholesterol, whereas arimistane kills it and is safe for lipids.
I actually think if you're only doing 200 milligrams of testosterone a week, then by all means try out the arimistane for sure. You shouldn't really need anastrozole unless you're unlucky. Now you might get your blood work done before and after to see. Outside of that, just stick with what the doctor told you to do. And I really don't think you need the HCG.
All right, next one comes from.
Dude, I hope that doesn't make it over to you.
Good one.
I'm drinking a diet soda. The people that are watching will see this, and I burped up the. I just crushed some red snapper.
Ooh.
And that just came out very
No, I
acidly.
don't smell it yet.
Right.
Next one comes from Frank Hernandez. It says, PJ, what can I do to get rid of a flabby chest?
Diet. Next. I mean, you can't just spot reduce, guys. I mean, if it's estrogen related, then yeah, you can take stuff like that, but you can't spot reduce fat.
Lipo?
Yeah, lipo.
Lipo your chest? All right, next one says, skinny wanting to put on size, from Chris. I am 5'10", 145 pounds, 27 years old. I am wondering which products I could use to aid in me putting on some size. I haven't been in the gym a long time, but I plan to get a membership in the near future. I know diet has a big part in it, but what could you recommend from your products to help? Also, I cannot consume anything fish related, including fish oils, due to allergies. Thank you for your time, Chris.
I would bookend your workouts with 2 scoops of Formula 19 and Glycolog, so that's before and after. Make sure you're obviously adding in our either isolation or our 3-way, because you want to hit your protein requirements. And if you want to really push hard and start manipulating your hormones, then you get on something like Chosen One or Brutal Force or Methaquad, or stack a couple of them together. And that's the combination that'll get you what you want to get. By the way, if you want a discount on any of those things I just mentioned,
Just add a 20 to the end of the name of the product.
Exactly.
That's your podcast hookup.
Today we have not done any of that. Just
totally abandon this idea.
Yeah, I think you guys will figure it out.
Those will stay up for you guys. So if you watch podcast 1 or 4 or 6, and now you're watching podcast 43, there's a good chance that Glycolog 20 will still be valid for you.
That's right.
All right, guys. This one comes from David Heckler. He says, "Hey PJ, for about 3 to 4 years now, I've been using a chemical relaxer in my hair at the salon to help straighten my naturally thick hair. I really enjoy the way it looks. My barber recently told me that I had some thinning towards the end of my hairline. I can barely notice it, but he insisted that I use topical minoxidil.
Yeah, minoxidil.
When he told me this, I started to panic, and every other day I get paranoid that my hair is falling out. I'm 27, and all sides of my family have kept their hair except for my uncle on my dad's side, who has thinning hair, who is in his 50s. I also ordered 1 milligram Finasteride, a 3-month supply, but I haven't used anything yet. I've heard of topical Finasteride as well, but I'm not sure if that would work. I don't take any steroids or hormones. I have taken Brutal Force, Chosen One, and Abnormal Stack last year. What is your best recommendation that you would think help with my problem? Thanks."
If you're saying that you look in the mirror and you don't see your hair falling out, don't listen to your barber. That's crazy. Also, if you take Finasteride, your dick's not going to work good, especially if you're not on steroids. If you're concerned, take some saw palmetto extract.
That's saw palmetto, baby. Next one comes from Ryan Stiebner. "Hey PJ, loving listening to your podcast, really learning a lot. Recently I was put on TRT due to my levels being very low. However, I am very, very young. I have always noticed that I have been really tired, lethargic, and got depressed easly. So I decided it was time to get blood work done. My levels came back very low, which was a surprise because I've always been able to lift a lot of weight, and others always claimed that I took gear, even though I have not. The gains have been pretty nice with the test, as I have finally have energy again. Recently, my doctor wanted to test my IGF-1 levels as well, and I'm still waiting on the results. My dream is to compete in bodybuilding shows and eventually get my pro card. I recently started an Austrian cycle, and I'm going to bridge into a more hardcore pro hormone. I guess my question is, now that I'm on TRT as well as HCG, what would you recommend I do in terms of supplements to try to get to the next level in physique? I'm really looking for that perfect recomp. Thank you, PJ. Big fan. Mad respect for you as a bodybuilder and a businessman."
Thank you. I don't know. Go over the bullet points of that one for me again. I mean,
recently put on TRT. Feeling better from the test.
You should feel way better. All of your symptoms were because of your low testosterone, so that should be gone now.
What do you recommend I do in terms of supplements to get to the next level?
I mean, you're doing the right thing by being on the TRT. I can tell you to take Chosen One, Brutal Force, any of those products. Yes, you'll absolutely get more out of it.
Maybe like fuck the HCG, take more Brutal Force.
That's what I would. I don't think you need the HCG. It's interesting that all these doctors are putting you guys on HCG the way they're doing it. It's
just want you to buy it.
Yeah, that's what I think it really comes down to.
Because I mean, like, how much is it when you get it from a doctor? Like, is it really like? Why would so many people be getting prescribed both at the same time?
It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, you use the HCG when you're off to bring yourself back. Using it, I actually just had a conversation with the doctor today. We were going back and forth on our opinions on it, and the lighting cells, you're potentially going to kill them with the HCG. The HCG stimulates them, but if you keep doing it...
When they're not.
What I had said to the doctor is, my whole opinion is, you take antibiotics when you have an infection to kill the infection. You don't take it in case you get an infection.
Right.
Because then all that bacteria is not going to work the same way.
And then you start killing off your good biotics and all those things, and then throwing you out of whack.
So, I mean, I hope that answers your question. I mean,
next one comes from Eric Ramos. He says, "Hey PJ, I've been running gear heavy for the last 3 years. Started when I was 22 and now I'm 25. I know, really stupid considering my age, and at the time I had no clue what HCG was and therefore didn't utilize it. I saw a post recently by Gorilla Chemist about triptorelin and that it could be extremely useful in kickstarting natural test production. I understand that if dosed improperly, the results could be disastrous. I was wondering if you had an experience you could speak of to its effects when dosed correctly. I understand that I'm more than likely a slave to the needle for life, which I don't mind, but I was just curious about having this in hand in case of emergencies. Any insight would be appreciated. Thanks."
I've never even heard of it. I'd have to research it more, to be honest with you. Gorilla's constantly reading. He's a brilliant, brilliant kid, but sometimes he gets too into some of the science that he reads, and you need more time to find out if these things are really worth taking or not. By the way, the sinus thing that I'm dealing with...
You feeling any better from yesterday?
Yeah, this is around the time of day yesterday where I started feeling crabby too. It just feels like somebody has like those railroad nails, and they're just hammering
straight into your nose,
right here on both sides. How many more questions do we have?
I think we're down to the long one.
Oof! All right, this is the last one,
I believe.
All right, let's do it.
All right, this one comes from Kyle. He says, hey guys, loving the podcast, so appreciative of all the information you're sharing. My wife and I are both avid Blackstone supporters and can't say enough great things about your products. Let's dive in. I've always stayed pretty decent shape between kickboxing, lifting, and running. My wife started competing in bikini in 2014 and it inspired me to get on plan and focus more on lifting with cardio to supplement it. I also started adding some SARMs and pro hormones in around 2015. I'll list all of my supplement use at the end of the email so you have a reference. In the past year and a half to 2 years, I've been feeling extremely lethargic throughout the day. I've maintained a pretty solid diet and workout regimen, but it's been harder and harder to stay interested in my workouts, especially cardio. I used to have zero issues hitting the streets for a 4 or 5 mile jog just because the weather was nice, and never had any issues with 30 or 40 minutes of cardio after a big lift. But now you couldn't pay me to stay on a stair climber for more than 10 minutes. I have found it harder and harder to lose fat around my waist area, and I feel like I should have been putting on more muscle than I have. To shake off the last slump I was in about a year ago, I did 16 weeks with a prep coach to add some muscle and eventually lean out a little bit. I got great results from it and I didn't stray one bit from the plan, but I still feel I should have gotten more from it. At that point, I knew something was going on that was limiting my results and making me feel pretty shitty when I wasn't on supplements. Fast forward about 6 months, which puts us around 4 weeks from March 2018. My wife encouraged me to go get my test levels checked and holy shit was I low. My last round of supplements were about 4 months ago, capped off with a 4-week PCT. My test levels came back at 67. This was around 9 a.m. after I had taught a kickboxing class. My doctor and I were both shocked and we agreed that I should come back the next day to do another one. I didn't teach or work out that morning, just had a normal breakfast of oats, eggs, and a banana around 7 a.m., then did another blood test around 9 a.m. This one came back at 125. At this point I agreed to start doing test C shots once a week as they dialed things in and developed a TRT plan moving forward. My first shot was 200 milligrams of test C, and they sent my second blood test off for a more detailed panel, which I will receive next week. My test levels came back at 117.5 with free test level of 1.87. The doc ordered an MRI to check pituitary issues and everything came back fine. Here are some of the other results that were flagged or maybe be helpful for reference. BUN was 26 milligrams over DL. BUN creatine ratio,
Creatinine, yep.
27. ALT, SGPT, 48 IU/L.
Yeah, not bad.
Albumin, 4.6. SHBG serum, 40.2. NMOL-L, not flagged. Sorry guys, I don't know what any of these mean.
I do. So far his numbers are good.
I'm just reading.
Kidney function, liver function, that's sex hormone binding.
Estradiol was 6.2 pgml. Testosterone total LC/MS is 117.5 NG/DL. Free test was 1.87. Bioavailable test was 46.9. Now I'm on my 4th week of TRT and all my doses, besides the first shot of 200 milligrams, are now at 180 milligrams once per week. I started to feel so much better immediately, but that may have been some placebo effect. I'm in the middle of week 4 and I'm feeling okay, but nothing special yet. My energy seems up for a couple of days, but I feel like I'm crashing pretty hard about 3 days after my shot. My next blood test isn't for a couple of weeks, and I'm very curious to see where my test levels are compared to everything else. Now to my questions. First one, I took in some good info on one of the podcasts about TRT and Chosen One, and I'd like to venture back into the sup world after some significant time on TRT. How can I expect Chosen One to affect my blood tests, and is this something I should speak with my doctor about? I don't want to do anything that sets off any red flags with my doctor and want to be fully transparent if necessary.
Can I have this? Give me this. Pass this over to me. This is the longest one ever. Congratulations. What's the name?
I think it's on the first page. There's 3 pages. I don't know.
Yeah, this is impressive. Is this really the last one?
I believe.
Yes, it is. All right, sweet. Where are these numbers that the doctors are giving these guys are so weird. I just don't get it. All right, so let's just skip ahead here. Question from my, wait a minute. One. All right, I took in some good info on one of the podcasts about TRT and Chosen One. I'd like to venture back into that stuff. So here's the deal. Yes, Chosen One will be great for you to increase your free testosterone. I don't think that you should be worrying about that, though, until you get your hormones straightened out right now. So let's get your test going, where you're feeling good first, before you worry about anything else. That's going to completely suppress you, all right? I don't want you to do anything to set off any red flags with my doctor. Exactly, and this is going to completely suppress you, so you should not do it. I'm like miserable right now.
Yeah.
My head hurts so bad. I'm just sick. I haven't taken. You guys will see it when you watch the YouTube. You see, I don't look good. Do I look good?
I mean, I think you look normal.
You think so?
Yeah, your face
I just feel.
perfectly
Sally's
normal.
very sick too.
I can see it in her face. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just. My head is like a mess, and I feel like I'm just like zoning out of the paper.
You don't even have like bags in your eyes or anything.
Really?
No, you're good.
Good. All right. So here's the deal. Your blood work is honestly, I think you've got to keep experimenting what's going to happen with being on TRT before you get into. Look, if I was a dick, I'd be like, yeah, but my chosen one, this and that. I don't think that you should even get on anything other than like focus on your TRT for now, okay? And if you do anything else, it's going to draw red flags. Do not think that you have any pituitary issues. No. What do you recommend for prostate health? Well, there's a number of things you can do about that. I piss about 275 times per day, and I only drink about a gallon of water. A gallon of water is a good amount of water, guys. That's a lot of piss. 275 is you're spending quite a bit abundance of time in the bathroom. Again, this is saw palmetto related. We'll help you with that. Believe it or not, Cialis is actually good for your prostate. And here's another one. This will make you laugh. Jerk off. Jerk off or have sex every day will actually help your prostate as well. It's very good for your prostate.
I'm going to go home and take some Cialis and jerk off anyways.
Yes, get that release. It's very good for you. Getting backed up is bad for your prostate. How the fuck can we get some of the ISO cream? So this is one I actually can answer easily. So we should have it available sometime this month, and it's going to be distributed via distribution and right on our website. So you'll be able to get it drop shipped to you within 2 days from the website. So just, we'll be blasting it out of her. Pay attention to it. Question from my wife, Britt Mims. She uses about 17 BSL products per day. Can you give a brief explanation of how Recomp works? Yes, I can. Also, there's a video for it. So if you go to the Blackstone Labs YouTube page, look for the Recomp video. Just type it in. Also, Eric, is the video on the website? So go to the Blackstone Labs website, all right, and just click on Recomp, and there's a video there. That's the best way to do it. You can listen to me on here all the time, but we record videos of all the products and put them out there for you guys. So just watch the Recomp video. Past sermon performance, yes. Good. Smart Cycles that you're running. Looks like you've done some reading. I did 4 weeks of PCT with Apex Male aside from the libido crash. Got amazing results. Very good. And the libido kicked back in after PCT. That makes me very happy to hear as well. No subs started TRT in February. So you're so new, man, to the TRT. Give the TRT a chance to work for you before you start worrying about putting in chosen one and stuff like that. Because look, there's a lot of things that are going to be changing your body right now, and those products may throw it off. Let the TRT work first, okay? And give it some time. We're in the first week of March, and you started in February. So tell you what, ask me again or check in with me again in the first week of April. All right. So I want a full another month under your belt, and tell me how you feel then. I have a feeling you're gonna be feeling really good, and you can leave it alone after that. That was the final question. Hey guys, sorry if I didn't answer them as good as I can today. I will admit I was answering them some of them kind of assholey because I'm trying to get done because I don't feel good, and I know the other guys want to get out of here as well. Some of them you guys. I knew this was going to happen. They're kind of like repeat questions, It's just TRT. Maybe I'll do a video on proper TRT, so you guys, you'll know. Do this much Diabetic, do this much Arimidex, and that's
you can just refer back to follow my TRT protocol if you're curious.
If we have to do that, we'll do that.
Doesn't sound like a bad idea. Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
And just one quick topic I wanted to touch on before we get out of here today, guys. If you're in the Legion and you are not yet part of the Facebook group, go onto Facebook and search Blackstone Labs Legion, and it'll ask you 3 questions. Just request to be in the group. Either myself, David, or Eric will get you in there. We share lots of information on there. Keep in touch with each other, get to know each other, set up meetings and events and things like that. Just some people don't even know it exists, so I just want to get as many people in the Legion in there as possible, so that way there, anytime you have any questions or anything like that, it's really quick and easy for us to get back to you that way.
For sure. You guys were the highlight of the Arnold for me. I mean, I must have met 20, 25 Legion members at the Arnold. It was awesome.
I probably got at least 20 to 30 new people that had either heard of it and wanted to know more about it, or had never heard of it and just wanted to be a rep for Blackstone for so long.
And if you guys are trying to join the Legion, the best way to do it is just email sponsor@blackstonelabs.com. You can DM him all you want on Instagram, but it's not going to be as fast. And it's not the direct way to go right to it, because there's going to be emails that go back and forth. Also, if you don't hear from him in a day or two, please don't come to me, because all I'm going to do is get a hold of him anyway. If you don't hear from him in a couple days, you know what? Maybe you just didn't send the email right. Maybe it got lost. Email him again. Because coming to me, all it's going to do is you're just adding a step in the process. So,
and putting everybody else farther back in line.
Yeah, I would rather see you just reach out to him again, you know, so.
And a lot of the people that aren't getting responded back to, I've been noticing sometimes it goes to your spam, or sometimes one thing that has been a hookup, people, in order to be accepted, you have to send me a photo of yourself, and many people apply with, you know, their name, their Instagram, all this information, these great stories about their transformations, and then they don't send me a picture. And then I have to go through another email to send you for another picture, and then sometimes, you know, we go through that step and you send me a picture and it's not like, it's a PNG file or something like that, and then it doesn't even show up, and then I ask you, where's your picture? And you're like, I sent it in the last one. So just try to make sure that when you send a picture, it's a JPEG, you know, just something easy, something simple, so that way there, you know, we can just keep the process moving as fast as possible for you guys.
Yeah, we would appreciate that greatly. Like, we're trying to build this around you guys. You guys got to work with us as well to make it all flow faster. And I can't reiterate it enough that by being impatient and then coming to me is not going to speed anything up at all.
Or realistically, anybody else at Blackstone Labs, if you reach out to your rep, they can provide you some information. And that actually brings me to another great point. If you're in the Legion, you're going to get some info right now that other people have not gotten yet. We have a new page on the Blackstone Labs website. If you're in the Legion, you're going to be given a code probably tonight or tomorrow morning to log in and see how many times your code has been used manually by yourself. So you don't have to reach out to me, you don't have to reach out to your rep. You can just go on there as many times as you want, see how many times your code's been used. It'll probably update every couple of days.
Yep.
So if you're checking it like every 5 hours, you're not going to see much. But that is being implemented, and you guys should all have a login later today or tomorrow morning.
I mean, I feel like you covered everything. We got a lot of good points across. We love the Legion. We're very excited about this. Barbell Bacon, who won the Legion contest to come to the Arnold.
Great guy.
Volunteered to work the whole time, which was outstanding. I didn't want him to.
He actually helped me out. He did the thing that I usually do, which is taking down the emails and talking to people online. And you know, he was like, you know, bro, you go do the Legion stuff. I'll stay here and I'll do this. And I came back to relieve him a couple times, and he told me, no, bro, you keep doing it. I got this. We really, really, really appreciate you, man. That was a huge help.
And I'll tell you this, and I'm not saying it because I think he might listen, because I don't even know if he listens to the podcast. Yeah. I feel like a lot of Legion members do. I mean this with all sincerity. I felt like I knew him for fucking years.
Yeah, it literally felt like a brother that I had met in a previous life.
And you don't know, when you have a contest, you're like, man, I hope the person that wins is cool.
Hope it's not some weirdo trying to kill me on my sleep in the hotel room.
I'm like, listen, I hope that it's either a really hot girl, just kidding, Salvi, or somebody that's cool, you know?
Or a cool hot girl.
Or
none of those exist.
They don't even make
that
those.
Doesn't exist.
They stopped making those in the 70s, I think.
Last one was 69.
So he was really cool, man. Like we're like remaining in contact every day. We've been sexting.
Oh, I haven't gotten that serious.
I don't want his wife to know that yet. We've been sexting a lot.
Hopefully she doesn't watch the podcast.
He's an awesome dude. Like I feel like you guys are gonna probably see him at the Olympia too. I have a plan. I have a plan for him.
I wouldn't be against that at all.
Good. I'm glad. So there you go. Barbell Bacon. And a Legion All-Star.
Get ready for that Vegas trip, bro.
I'll tell you this. I have my eye on another Legion member who is doing a very good job. I told Barbell Bacon last night, actually, about this guy.
While we're speaking about Legion members that do good, shout out to Alicia H. Fitness.
Yes.
She is murder.
She is so good. So for my customers, Flex.
Okay.
And I moved up Dragon Azumi.
Yep.
So congratulations to all of them.
Well deserved.
And I gotta be honest, and we're only on day 7 or 8 of the month, I'm pretty sure I know who I'm picking this month is for Customer of the Month.
That means if you don't think it's you better start working.
Yeah.
You better start getting it in.
There's some of you are doing really, really, the one kid, Brash, and then numbers, is very, very good.
Brash and then numbers.
It's Brash and then a few numbers. He knows who he is.
Is it like 54, 37, 93?
Could be something like that. He was second to Bar. Oh, fuck, I did not want to say that. Son of a bitch. Because that's like the first loser when you're second, you know what I mean? Damn, fuck it, I'll say it now. He was second to Barbell Bacon, so he almost won.
You're close, bro. Keep it up. That should just be motivation.
Damn, I did not want to say that. That was the one thing I didn't want to do. Fuck. Oh, man. Sorry. You almost had it though. You're doing a really good job. You're doing a good job. All of my police officers are doing very good jobs. Shout out to you guys for being cool, because most of you are your genre, your
demographic.
Your demographic is typically not cool. I shouldn't say that. We actually have really cool cops following us. The Legion is strong. They really are. There's like 500 of them now.
So we're actually closing about 7.
We shouldn't talk about this, but we'll make fun of it again as Primeval and their alliance. The Primeval Alliance.
I mean, it is what it is. We'll go head up Legion against Alliance any day of the week.
Yeah, because although their plan is a carbon copy of ours, the people that are joining the alliance are obviously of subpar intelligence.
Oh, I haven't even taken note. I've been so focused on the Legion, I didn't even know the Alliance existed.
Yeah, they're like it started yesterday. I saw.
Oh, did it?
I shredded them on my Q&A this morning. By the way, no one's safe from me anymore. I will shred you as much as I can. If you guys haven't seen my price plow interview where I went after Redcon and Primeval, you should probably listen to that. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, you can't escape now.
No, there's no escaping now.
Resistance is futile.
Yeah, it's absolutely futile. Call me 8 of 9. All right, we're gonna shut down.
All right, guys, that was another installment with Ask PJ Braun here at the Blackstone Labs headquarters. You know what time it is? Peace out, bye.